All right, guys, y'all already know what time it is. It is another episode of Let's Talk About It. I am the host, Sidel B. I go live each and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just like clockwork. Tonight, I am excited about my little young guest. He is straight from Brooklyn. So, Brooklyn, stand up. That's where I'm from. Big ups to Flatbush. So, I'm a little excited about to have him on here. So I will be bringing him up on the stage in just a second. I make sure my moderators in the room, make sure I sound good, look good, everything is good, good. So I'm gonna bring him up and then we'll just make sure we just warm up the stage just a little bit. I hope he can play something for us. I'm not sure if he prepared to play something for us or not, but I had a chance to listen to him. He gave me like a Jay-Z vibe, but you guys go ahead and judge for yourself. So what further ado, his name is HD. He is a recording artist straight out of Brooklyn, New York. Like I said, Brooklyn, stand up. Let me bring him to the stage real quick.
How are
What's up,
you?
partner? What you got going on?
Beautiful things, beautiful things. I'm grateful. Shout out to Flatbush.
Shout out to Flatbush. Where you from in Brooklyn?
I'm from Clinton Hill, Bed-Stuy, Clinton Hill.
Okay,
Yeah,
my grandmother used to live in Bed-Stuy, Smurf Village, good old Smurf Village, right across the street
it's,
from Boys
it's
and Girls.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Interesting enough, I grew up right on the corner from Biggie Smalls.
Oh, okay.
So St. James is where
Yeah,
Biggie
St. James.
grew up, and
Yeah.
I'm on Cambridge. So
I know where you
right
at. I
there.
definitely know
Yeah,
where you at.
yeah,
Yeah. You got
yeah.
that little funeral home. Ain't that no, what's that Saint? Ain't that St. James where the funeral
That's
home is
St.
on?
James. Yeah,
Yeah, my
exactly,
best friend is
exactly.
in my
So
best unfortunately, my best friend, my first funeral ever was at that funeral home. She
wow,
drowned in the beach
incredible.
at 16. So my
Wow.
moderator's in the room. She said Brooklyn in the building.
Yes, indeed. Brooklyn is in the
So,
building.
so before
Yes.
we get started, I always like me. Let me. I'm not gonna forget to light the candle. I like the aroma. Get the aroma going. My shoes is
Yeah.
up. Get your shoes is up because you are home and welcome
Yeah.
home. So let everybody know who you are, where you from, and what you do.
Yes. So my name is HD. For those who don't know, from Brooklyn, Clinton Hills specifically. I'm a recording artist, MC, whatever you want to, however you want to categorize it. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. We'll get in more detail.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Good. So I can tell you've been doing a lot of interviews.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I don't want to give it all away just too soon. I gotta
Yeah,
let you
yeah,
have your
yeah.
questions.
Yeah, we'll be here for an hour. So shout out
Yeah,
to your manager for
yeah. Shout out to Eric for putting it
yeah,
together, and
put
the
it
whole
together.
team Reservoir. Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. So your whole team is called what? What's it called?
Reservoir RCS Entertainment. It's a label that we started around 2015. Me and my co-founder Troy TK. Shout out to him as well. Out in South Carolina right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, can you share this to your page? You on your cell phone would allow you to share it to your page?
I'm not sure. I don't want to mess it up.
Okay,
So I'm
yeah,
just gonna leave it
everybody
like
always
this.
say they don't. Everybody don't always say they don't want to mess it up, but I did tag
Yeah.
you, so maybe
Let's
everybody will know
see.
that you're on here. So
Yeah, you
welcome
could tag me.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Maybe
guys
I could record the
welcome.
screen or something. I wonder if I could do that. If I could
Well,
record this
you
like
could
do it.
probably just I'm not sure if you can hit the share button, but don't mess everything up. I want you to stay in here
Yeah.
and then we'll
Yeah.
be able to share it. So you guys
Okay.
hit the share button because sharing is caring, sharing is free. I am the host of LB. I go live each and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I interview some amazing entrepreneurs on what got them started, what keeps them motivated in the industry. Tonight I am with the one and only HD. He is straight from where I'm from, Brooklyn, New York. Now you look young, but how old are you?
Take a guess.
Oh, 22.
No. No. I'm 29.
29? I wouldn't have guessed 29.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It's
have guessed 29.
yeah,
Hey,
I get that a
everybody.
lot.
You get
Yeah.
that a lot that you look young?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't count. That's why. I think that's the key to it. As long as you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
count, you won't, you'll be all right.
yeah. I
Eat the right
turned 50.
things too.
My moderator is my twin sister down there. We turned 55 on February the 21st of
No
this year.
way.
Yes, so we
No.
normally could put the numbers backwards, but this year we couldn't do that. So catch us next year.
Wow.
55.
Well,
Yeah,
you look
so
very good. Yeah.
yeah. They say New York people is mean, but we not mean. Look how we look. We look good, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
Youthful. Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Fountain
right.
of youth. We found it.
That's right. That's right. We look
Yeah.
good and we know how to dress very nice. Okay.
Exactly. 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 You're glowing. I see it. That's a beautiful
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what got you into the music business? Is it something that you grew up with, or you just fell in love with it when you heard like somebody for the first time?
More or less, it was really my household was filled with music. I grew up with I was raised by four aunts, my grandmother and my mom, and so within this household you had a variety of different sounds. Right on the first level of the house, you would hear Marvin Gaye. On the second, you hear Brian McKnight. On the third, you hear Anita Baker. On the fourth, you hear Whitney Houston. So I was just like molded by those different sounds, what have you. And then as I would go outside and hang with my friends, I would hear different hip hop. But I would more or less say music is what birthed me, in that sense. And so when you're surrounded by that, it's like just natural thing to just gravitate towards it, and you start learning how to, put words together from poetry. And I'm seeing all these different ciphers take place at the time where I was coming up, which you don't really see anymore in the streets anymore. Right,
Yeah,
you don't see that
yeah.
happen. But that's how I really got engaged with it. It was just more of a natural thing, which really inspired me as far as being raised by the music, and then it just led to where I'm at today.
That's good. That's so I take
Yeah,
it you lived in the brownstone.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct, correct, correct.
Yeah. You lived
Exactly,
in the
exactly.
brownstones. See, a lot of people, they build brownstones down in Georgia and stuff, but brownstones is really originated straight from Brooklyn. Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
that's popular
exactly,
for us. Brownstones going down. People live in different floors because my grandmother and
exactly.
my aunt used to live there. So kudos for you for growing up in the
I
music
know.
background. My dad, we grew up in the music background too. My father created 7 Minutes of Funk, so it was sampled 48 times. He transitioned. This month will be 8 months, but Marvin Gaye was his best friend, and
Beautiful.
yeah, I did music for a long time myself, so I had an artist and everything. So when you hear it or you'll be around it, I can relate to what you were saying. Like it feel like you really have no choice. You would
Correct.
know, right? You would know, okay, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because it just feels like you would hear. Maybe you can agree with me. I hear music differently from other people. Like sometimes I can hear the words, sometimes I hear the melodies, sometimes I hear the keys in the beat. Like different inclines. So you have an album out now, or you just got an EP?
So right now we actually, and I agree, that makes perfect sense. That's usually how it happens. You hear it different ways, but yeah, we have an album out called Face to Face. Which was released in January. So right now we're just putting together the visuals, the lineup for the visuals, the ideas for each of the songs that we're going to be shooting videos for. I
Mm,
think that's the next step for us. But right now, we're more or less just grooming the album, as far as collaborating with different brands throughout the industry, just pushing the album in that sense, just more on a collaborative effort, getting ready for the tour. We started our own, or we're going to be doing our own New York City street tour, and then
oh, that's
hopefully
good.
that will take place in other different cities and things like that. And we came up with the idea basically because, again, we wanted to just collaborate, but we wanted to do it throughout the city of New York, and we wanted to do it like a pop up, more or less than just, hey, I'm going to be here, like a pop up around the city and things. And we just thought that would be great because you could maximize when you're in New York. You can maximize the crowds you're around all the time in these high populated areas. And so that's
Okay.
one of the things that we're gonna add on with the album, the clothing. And so it's just more of the whole brand behind the
That's
album.
what I
And
say.
that's what we're doing
Building the brand.
right
That's
now,
right.
exactly around the album. And so that takes time and things like that. So we just really grooming the album, dealing with different influencers in different countries, South Africa, and things like that, which is a big place for us right now.
Uh-oh, he got a little frozen, y'all. Y'all make
No,
sure
no
y'all hit
complaints
the
there.
share button. Wait, you
Yeah,
got a little frozen. Hang on, let me get you back now. Your service got a little nervous, but hang
yeah,
on.
yeah. It's all good.
Let
We're
me
still
let
here.
me. I can see you, but you're a little frozen, but it'll come back. So, I thought you was from like South Africa. It sounded like you was from like England or something when I just spoke to you on the phone. But are you Caribbean? Do you have a Caribbean background?
No, no, no. So my dad side of the family is Italian.
Oh wow.
So they're from Naples. Yeah, and my mom is African American and Native American. So that's yeah, the dynamics there. But no
Okay,
island here.
let's try not to cut you off, but let me try to get you back here. You're a little frozen. Hang on for a second. Let me see if I can get you back here. I'm gonna remove you and I'm gonna bring you back up. See if that'll see
Are we
technology.
there?
Boom, boom.
Okay,
Now you
perfect,
there. You looking good.
perfect,
Okay, so
perfect.
let everybody. Okay, so the genre of you rap, right? Right.
Yes, yes, hip hop.
Hmm. Hip
Correct.
hop. So, and then I heard you. You sound really, really good. Now, on Thursdays we do an Instagram battle, and the person who's last standing after the 4 weeks. So please come battle. I'll share it with you. You can play your music. Then you'll feature on a song with real most banger. Real most Bird Banger. He got the longest name is history, but you will be you can feature with him, and he's in Philly. Okay, so he makes a lot of
Perfect.
noise in Philly, used to be. So please come in battle, okay? And I would
We'll
love
do.
that. Yeah,
We'll
yeah, yeah,
do.
yeah. So
We'll do.
yeah, I wish you had a way to play something, but what gave you the style? Because I feel like you sound a little like Jay-Z. Is it just because you got that whole Brooklyn roots in you, or that's just because when you got behind the mic, that's actually your tone of your voice and your cadence? That's just how it just turned out to be.
Well, I would say as far as like, cadence, pattern, rhyme schemes and things like that is heavily influenced by Jay, but not just Jay, it's also influenced by Big, Big L. These are the pioneers that I've studied, especially Biggie Smalls and Jay-Z. So just to go back, where I was raised, being at Clinton Hill, Biggie Smalls growing around the corner for me. Then obviously you got Marcy not too far from where I am as well. So when I was like growing up, being around my peers, my dad's peers, everybody was always influenced by, the music, of course. And so when I would go outside and we'd be sitting around talking, everybody be rapping, and then that would linger into conversations about, okay, so who's the best MCs in Brooklyn? And at that time, it was Jay, Big. That's all everyone was talking about. Where I'm from at that time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so when you with me as a young adult, and I'm looking at and I'm analyzing people, be really ambitious and really strong hearted on the impact that these two particular MCs are having on their lives, that made me curious to say, you know what? I think I need to study these two people particularly, and that's what I did. And then at one moment, my dad had introduced me to a Jay Z album. I think it was American Gangster. And because
Mm-hmm.
at the time I was telling him like my favorite artist at the time was Fabulous, and I was like, no, I think Fabulous is better in my opinion. And my dad was like, no, you need to listen to this album. And he
Yeah.
sat me down and listened. I listened to the song, one of the songs, and I was just like, holy smoke. And so these moments that led to me studying Jay, in addition to studying Big, because I've studied him. My aunt would listen to him a lot. So I think that's where I developed my rhyme scheme, my patterns, my metaphors, and things like that. Now, naturally, yes, my voice is distinctive and it sounds similar to obviously, but I think when you listen to my music more and more and more, you hear less of Jay. We have two different. Yeah, it's similar voice as far as New Yorkness in it, but when you listen to it more and more, you'll be like, no, that's H. You could distinguish between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the style, etc. I have um, this like '90s Brooklyn, urban type of style, but a little sophisticated at the same time as well. So I think you have this whole dynamic of myself and who I studied, and yeah, you get what you're hearing on these records. And then also from the people that I've listened to, the artists that I listen to, right? Going down to
Mm-hmm.
Prince is my favorite. Prince is actually my favorite artist overall. And then Michael, and then Marvin, and then Whitney, and then Sade. So the list goes, it's a long list, but I
You
think
got
I
some
have
good
an
ones.
influence. You can hear the influence in my music from everybody that I listen to, especially how I select my songs and the beats that I select. And a lot of my music is not just like hip hop. You got some pop, you got some different things happening, in the hooks and the melodies and things like that. So there you have it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
sister was like, you even sound like him. I really think you sound like him too. And I mean, it's like your voice just
Yeah.
sounds like him. Like if I was
Yeah.
to not know, if I didn't see your face and I and
Yeah.
I and then I just heard your voice, I would be like, oh, is that Jay-Z? So, but my cousin, D Dot,
Yeah.
Derek Angelady, that's my first cousin. He produced a lot of Biggie Smalls's
Mhm.
Hypnotize and things like that. I'm trying to get him on here. I got to get a little bit bigger for D Dot.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
my cousin, but he'll be
Yeah.
on here one day, right? But anyway, kudos for you for feeling like I'm my own. I study the greats because I believe, like, even as a songwriter or when I did music, I was a poet too. And who you would ask Cap or BMI?
ASCAP.
Okay, yeah, I would ASCAP too for a long time now.
Mhm.
And when I used to go to the ASCAP office in Georgia, he made me read and study Smokey Robinson because Smokey Robinson started as a poet, right?
Mhm.
So his name was Tree. He doesn't work anymore, but Tree was like, in order to be great, you got to study the greats. So, I love how you can just fluently from just flow off who's your influence from Whitney to
Correct.
everybody from Prince because that means that you at least was doing some studying on with your father. Fabulous
Mhm.
is cool, but Fabulous is more like fun to where Jay-Z is more like lyrical. I think that they're in
Right.
two different, I think that they're in two different lanes. And I think Jay-Z's just got a Fabulous by a little by a lot of it. Not a little bit
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
far as lyrical wise, but Fabulous has a lot of the pop, like he would the what you call it, like the jingle, more of the pop jingles, like
Correct.
what everybody got. So
Correct.
how many songs you got on your album that's coming out?
Well, right now we got 17.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
one album?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be
Yeah.
like you bringing back the double sides or what you bringing back?
Exactly. Exactly. We're
Huh?
gonna do a deluxe. We're gonna do a
Okay, that's
deluxe.
what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the old
Yeah.
school
We're gonna do a
ways. Because you
deluxe.
said
We're
the
gonna do a
old school
deluxe.
90s. So bring it back. Bring it all back. I
Exactly.
wish you could bring like
Exactly.
a little ring in the record and you have to put the record back on and put the CDs where the CDs getting caught in your tape. I'm a little bit older
Exactly.
than you, but the tape getting caught in the car and you gotta wind it back
Exactly.
up with your finger.
Exactly.
Good for
Exactly.
you. Good for you because music to me, I don't listen to the radio. You'll catch me on Pandora on the gospel station. I'm in the old school hip hop or Jamaican me all day.
Mhm.
But good for you for feeling like I want to bring back the old school feel because I think that it's dead. I think it's well needed. No shots to anybody that's out there, but I can't relate to anything that they're saying because I'm a word listener, not a mumbler. Having to mumble to
Correct.
me on the beat.
Correct.
What do you feel about that?
I feel, I think the subject matter has changed.
Wait, I gotta remove
Um,
them, y'all. Okay, go
yeah.
ahead.
It changed. I think the, you know, I just think the influencers, the internet, the media has changed the way music is being made, the content of the music, the reasoning of the music. I think all those things just change now because now instead of making music that's gonna last you 20 plus years or music that's gonna, have a long lasting impact, now it's just music for the moment. So when you
Right.
have, hundreds and thousands of artists, making music just for the moment, you get music that's made particularly for TikTok, for Instagram, for virality purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then everybody's chasing a particular sound. And so when that happens, obviously everything explodes. And then, everyone is looking around like, where's the good music? But everyone is chasing because they see what it's doing. It's just for the moment, it's just for popularity purposes. And that's what it becomes. And then you're looking at, with the labels, how they're analyzing the music and why they're signing artists, and they're signing artists based off of viral, quick
Right.
song, quick
Good
fast,
song. That's right.
you know, uh, quick fame, really quick, and then that's it. Just everything is just like popcorn, you know, the popcorn effect now, like microwave
Mm-hmm.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy and excited that there are other artists such as myself that are putting out music that will last you, you know, generations, and that will stick around, and also music that's just original as well, and not so much sampling. I know obviously the hip hop culture comes from a lot of samples and things like that, but what we like to do on our end is create music that's original beats, original melodies, just the lyrics are original. Nothing is copied or duplicated from, you
That's
know, the
right.
past, and not just so we can keep that originality in ourselves. You know, this way, when we're looking and we're receiving our Grammy speeches, etc., things like that, we could say that we did it all original. You know, we never
That's
really
right.
copied anybody to get to where we've gotten.
And that's the good thing. Shout out, like I gotta bring it on back to my father. He's original. He heard the original, and
Right.
now everybody is sampling what he did
Correct.
that was original. I went and watched Bob Marley, which I love Bob Marley. Bob Marley was original. So Bob
Right.
Marley is gonna live on, even though he passed away at 36, he's gonna live on to be forever because
Correct.
he also talked like you talked, right? He also was like, no, I need to make music that's gonna stand the time. And I don't know
Hmm.
if you've seen the movie, so I won't give it away, but that's how he felt. He felt the same way. So,
Absolutely.
you talk very intelligent. So I think that no,
Thank
and
you.
I'm not just saying that for you to be
Yeah.
only your age. You talk very intelligent. So I think that not only will you get your point across on your music, on your songs, I think that you could go toe to toe if you had to step in. I can see you, even though you got a manager, but I can still see you holding your own and standing your ground and going into a boardroom in a suit and still be able to talk intelligent and then say,
Yeah.
no, now let's get in this booth and watch me put in the work and then take the jacket off,
Correct.
change your shirt, and then
Yeah.
become the lyricist that you are. A lot of people, very, very far and few, are there really music geniuses like you hollered Whitney and Prince. And
Hmm.
when I was leaving out and I was talking to my husband, I was like, they're very far and few geniuses like a Bob Marley. It's only gonna come once that very so
Absolutely.
often. Michael
That's it.
Jackson, Whitney Houston, all the good ones passed away, unfortunately. Tupac.
That's
See, so
yeah.
they're gonna come, it comes very far and few. Do you agree with that?
I wholeheartedly agree, and you know, just to concur with that, you know, if you look at like a Kobe, for instance, and Kobe is one of my biggest influences as well. You know, same, it's almost the same scenario in a way, like how he studied Jordan to become great, right? That was his idol, that was his superhero, you know, on his wall. And it's more or less the same way how, you know, when I was looking like and listening to Jay, it was like, man, I could see myself, you know, being in that position one day, someday soon. You know, why wouldn't you want to be like one of the greatest of all time? You know, it makes you even greater.
That's right.
Not to be the
That's right.
same, but to strive to be better, because
Exactly.
they've paved the way for you, and they've made this blueprint. They've provided you, show you resources and how to take advantage and how to utilize the business in ways to grow yourself. And so when you see that, you study that, and you become yourself, you learn things about yourself, but then you push yourself to the next level. And so that's also another reason why, you know I'm going to be where my vision foresees, because of the studying that I've done and the studying that I do to this day. So in all
That's good.
forms, right?
That's
And
good.
also
That's good.
being diverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not a lot of artists who can walk into a boardroom and negotiate a deal. I can do that because
I
I've,
think you
you
can.
know, a lot of experiences, you know, and not
Mm-hmm.
only do I do music, I have real estate also, which I
Oh,
do on a daily basis as well. So I'm very business
okay.
savvy in that sense. So I think that side, that skill that I have in that, for being the, you know, the substructure for me to be able to do it in the music business as well, can go hand in hand, you know, for sure.
I think so too. And then, the good thing about Jay Z is, I mean, he started off Marcy Projects, right? He started off how he started off. He found his own lane and he just stayed with it. You would have to study him because you really don't know too much about his business. And,
Correct.
he keeps his life, whatever, very super private. And I think that's a great way to be because if you want study me, that's the only way you can do because you really ain't gonna hear nothing about me. You're gonna
Right.
have to study me. And do you feel like it bothers you when people say, "Oh, you sound like Jay Z"? I mean, either when you talk or even when you rhyme, do you feel like that's an honor, or do you feel like it could be you don't want it to become a problem?
It's a God-given honor.
Okay,
It's a
good.
beautiful thing, you know. It's a beautiful thing because, you know, my voice is very distinctive, and so it 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 overpowers a lot of different artists today. So when you
Hmm.
hear so and so, you hear my voice, you're like, oh snap, let me hear him. He's saying something. This guy can rap and say a million things, and I can say one thing, and you'll hear me much more clear, and it'll stick with you, it'll resonate. You won't have to be like jog your memory so much to remember what I said, and that's the most important thing, and that's why I think I have that advantage. And so when I do go outside and I do my shows and I'm out there rapping, people gravitate to me instantly because it's the
Mm,
more or less the biggest thing in business and music business is the voice. One of the biggest tools that, you know, attributes to artists is the voice, right? Everyone has a distinctive voice that
that's
allows
right.
them to project and to be recognized. And so I have to thank not only the God but the universe that I have the voice, because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be as attractive right away to people,
Hmm.
right? It would be a little
Right.
different. So
I see what you're
um
saying. Yeah.
it's actually a gift. And interesting enough, I've actually had the chance to perform in front of my idol at the Barclays Center,
Mm-hmm.
in front of Jay, and he
Hmm.
was watching me perform live at the
Hmm.
Barclays Center in
Hmm.
Brooklyn, which was
Mm.
an incredible night. And
Hmm.
you know, everyone of that was there that night, my family, my team, they will tell you that he was watching me and he was like jamming along, and it was amazing. So there you have it.
There you go. There you go. I mean,
Just to clear the room so everybody knows, like, is he
yeah.
approved or not? And then I got a text from Timberland. Timberland called me. He was going crazy, and Lenny S and all those guys. So, you know, Jazzo called me as well. So it's more like they're happy to see it happen. Like this is the next thing. This is
Yeah.
the Kobe, you know, at the Jordan moment. You know,
That's
it's
right.
gonna
That's
happen.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
He's gonna have to retire soon, and wouldn't he want somebody to take him? I met Jay Z and I met Jazzo. I had a long talk with
Mhm.
Jazzo at Atlanta's Music Fest because I used to live in Atlanta for a long time, and it's
Mhm.
like a fest. It's like a big old thing that everybody come in. And I met Jay Z at Daddy's house, Puffy's studio. Jay Z is very personable, very nice, very down to earth. Well, at least he was to me. And Jazzo is really, really nice. So kudos to you, because when you can, like you said, it's something that people can connect with. So this way you're standing out a little. You're standing in with them. You're not standing out without them, if that makes any sense. Now you got
Correct.
to work a little bit harder to say, oh, here I am, HD, look
Correct.
at me over
Exactly.
here, so you
Yeah.
more or less catching the attention of standing in where you need to be, because it's really not what you know, is who you know. And it's a sad thing to say, but it's really, really true.
That's the
And if
truth.
you
Yeah.
and if a lot of people be like, I could resonate with him, he flows, his cadence is good, his speech is good, and everything like that. So now people would be like, no, let's call HD over whoop de whoop that they can't even remember, that said
Correct.
three words. They can't even remember the three words that
Right.
the other person said. So kudos for you for finding your lane and bringing. Kudos for you for standing, knowing what your purpose is, knowing what
Correct.
you see creatively as an artist. Because artists are creative. They at least should be anyway. Be very creative to say, nope, I see it like this. I see it like this. I see it like this. And then
Absolutely.
like you want to do pop up, rapping. That's super dope to me, because who's doing
Around
that?
the
Like,
city. No
yeah,
one is doing that, and it's the greatest way to maximize an audience, especially in New York. And you know, obviously New York City, you go, you know, Times Square, you got Soho, you have Village, you have all these places where, you know, you just pop up and you just perform it, and everybody has their cameras out. Naturally, everybody's gonna have their phone out, and what we'll have the printout of the album cover. We'll have a QR code, so all these hundreds of people that are watching me get to scan the QR code. It goes directly to the album. You know, we'll have merchandise with us, so we're just capturing that whole experience. And to do that throughout the city is going to be groundbreaking. And then we're going to go to other cities and do the same thing, you know. And then hopefully this tour, the street tour, is a blueprint for other artists. These locations particularly is a blueprint, so that the next artist can say, "Oh, H did it, so let me do those same locations," because we know people may be anticipating that's where the artists are doing their pop-ups now around the
Right,
city and other
right.
countries. So it's just another creative
Yeah.
way of thinking, and then doing it. What we also doing is doing it with different brands. So going to different stores and doing the pop-ups in different stores and collaborating, wearing the clothing and doing the shows, and then so that this brands they promote it to their fan base, et cetera, and things like that. So there's a lot of things that we do. I can't give all the
No, no,
ideas out,
I was
but
gonna say you just, yeah, because people be like on here watching this later.
but
All of a sudden now pop-ups is
yeah,
everywhere. You didn't even get the poop
yeah,
up and everybody now
yeah,
popping up, like because
yeah,
that's what they are. So let me read some of the
exactly.
comments. Let me read some of the comments here. I think you got some of your people on here as well. So let me see if I can back up. I try to just hit the share with them, but let's see. So this one says that old school feel was never dead. People just wasn't checking on it really at all. Nas, AZ, Coogee Rap dropped albums in the last years, and Trust Black, Scenario Families, Battle Rappers, Kendrick Lamar, and the list goes on. I see what he's saying. So we grew up with Coogee Rap. AZ used
Mm.
to be me and sister's great friend. So it's like I see what I kind of understand what he's saying. Is this somebody that you know, Donald McCoy?
Not necessarily, but
Okay,
I
well he
agree with his. Yeah, yeah, it's never dead.
was never there.
Obviously, the certain it all comes down to marketing, right? So if one artist don't have a major marketing budget, obviously it's not going to be as broadcast as the artist that does. So you got to dig for the good music. You got to really dig for it, because obviously a lot of what we're hearing on the radio is, of course, it's being marketed, right? They could easily be like, hey, we're going to put all the good music on the radio and all the TikToks. And well, why would they do that if they know these particular songs, etc., are just picking up quick and things like that?
That's
It's
right.
making money, right?
That's
So
right.
it's not dead. It's never was dead. Like you said, people were never was checking for it. But now, like in this age of technology and the media, you do have access to everything. So you can check, but you have the ability to decide what you want to listen to at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day. They could
That's
play
true.
the whatever songs on the radio all day long. But as long as you know where to, you got Apple Music, you got a Spotify, wherever you're streaming your music, you could create your own playlist and listen to your own music and things like that. And that's the power of the artists that we have now. Building a community, not just a fan base, but a community around your music. This way, you have that power there. You know.
That's good. Let me bring you out. I'm gonna remove you and bring you back because this seems like that makes it work for your internet.
Yeah. There we
What I
go.
was gonna say was now that you're thinking of stuff that's gonna make people remember you because like look how Facebook and Instagram went down today. And I don't know if you know that, but they did. It went down
Really.
today. And then I was talking. Me and my twin sister was talking, and was like, yeah, because because we own businesses, and it was like it's a good thing that it's on that we're on Google, and so it what if the social media never was in history social media ever again? What are you going to do? How would you survive to let everybody know I am out here? So you're gonna have to start doing more traction of the streets, just like street teams, just like what you call it from New Orleans, how they got started. They got started from the back of their trunk. Luda got started
Absolutely.
from the back of his trunk. People was beating the pavement. They was putting little logos on
Exactly.
walls and beating down stuff like that. So you got because
Exactly.
Wishmacum, you hit on TikTok. Now TikTok and all Facebook and Instagram and them, you can pick the song, but they sending you a message real quickly to say that this label don't want it played no more, so you can't play it in the background.
Exactly.
So they banning it. So I think that the way you're going about it, you taking it back to the old school roots. No,
Direct.
right. Don't you feel that? No, that is
Yeah.
am I good with you?
Exactly.
Yes. What do
Direct.
you good with that? Like
Ye-
I want to just do it the way that people was doing it when they got famous, right?
Correct.
Hard work's gonna pay off. And I think
You
if you put in the work, you're gonna be super famous. That's
you
how
you
they do
got
it.
to beat your feet, and it's you got to beat your feet. You can't expect to become successful off a device, like as an artist. Like it's incredible, but obviously I think it was what was happening was with COVID and things like that, artists feel like, okay, how do I maximize my brand and my music, now that I can't perform out there and in the streets, and I'm not able to be around, people anymore. But that time has changed. Right now, we're ways out of COVID now. Now you can go outside and you can really develop, and you just never know what happened. Especially just everyone has their phones out now. So that same virality moment that you want off the phone, you can go on the streets and it could be the same sort of scenario. How, and in addition, you never know who's out there watching you perform.
That's right.
Like that's walking by you and see that you're doing this live street performance, and it's like, whoa, capture you, post it on whatever platform, and then there you go, right? So, but one of the things though, and I always stress this to my team, that's not something that I'm looking for. I'm not searching for the famous moment. Like I'm not doing this to be
But you might
famous.
just get it.
You know what I mean? Like I do this, like I don't chase the spotlight. Like the spotlight seems to have been chasing me more or less. I'm more like I'm just doing it just because I love it. That's it. Everything else just happens. So I never get caught up in like people like, yo, this guy's going viral or things like that. Like I'm cool. We're gonna maximize these moments, of course, strategically, but naturally I don't chase it. It's just like I think this makes sense for us, and I want to get the music out to the masses in this form. And whatever happens, it happens.
Mhm.
Because it's all the same to me, whether I'm performing at the Barclays or if I'm performing in front of two people. It's all the same. I'm gonna give you the same performance. I'm gonna give you my best. So that is what it is.
Yeah, let me bring you down. I think you came back. I think he came back as somebody old soul.
Yeah.
I think you came back reincarnated as somebody that used to be out like way back in the days that did some type of music, and then you just came back reincarnated because you're wise for your age. And it's just you talk with a lot of knowledge, and that's good for you. I love it. Where are you?
Thank
You
you.
home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The service keep getting nervous.
I know. I don't know. I got Verizon. I got 5G. I don't know what's going on. Like this thing should be
Hey
like,
Verizon. I used to work for Verizon.
I just got a
Yeah.
brand new phone as well. So this thing should be working very
Yeah, everything. It's
fluently.
all good. It's all good. We gotta fix
Yeah.
it. That I bring you down and bring you back up. The enemy is a liar, right? The enemy
Exactly.
don't like
Exactly.
to sometimes when I have certain people on, I notice that the internet get kooky and wonky, things start happening, but it's all good. We got ways to
Hey, it
fix
is what
around
it
it.
is. We're still on
That's
here.
right.
We're still on
That's
here.
right. So it says yes, just saying she was just saying that to herself. And then let's see, I'm gonna read some of these comments here. Just how people used to pass out CDs. That's what I was talking about. So everybody used to open up their trunk, pass out the CDs, and the word got around. There was no cell phones. There was only regular flip phones. There was no smartphones back then when a lot of people got started and things of that nature. So it's like, hang on, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit the share button because sharing is caring and sharing is free. So I think that you hitting the pavement is gonna and kudos to you if you did. How you think like some of these famous people, even models, just caught on the street, just walking, and people notice them, and their whole lives change. So you just never know when you go out and you start doing your little pop up performances. Watch and see somebody, watching them be like,
Absolutely.
I had him up here before he was, and he needs to come back and don't forget this interview.
Oh, I will. I'm very humble. So everything
Hang
is
on.
is,
Sorry, I
is
gotta
major to
knock
me.
you off. Go ahead.
No worries. But yeah, I always double back because everything is major to me. Nothing is small. Nothing is, it's all relative the same. I see everything this, practically the value. I
Yeah,
value everything mostly the
yeah,
same.
that's
Yeah.
it. That's good. So it's like you just speaking things into existence and things of that nature. You see where you want to go. So that's what I always tell everybody. You got to see it before you get there. And
You
when
gotta
you
have the
and when you
vision.
get, that's right. You got to have the vision. And then when you get there, you be like, I have arrived, right? Because
Exactly.
in your mind, I can I can see certain things happening in my life, but I'm not quite there. But when I get there, I'm as humble as you are because you might have not seen me getting there, but I saw myself there already. So
Absolutely.
I definitely have arrived. So when you get there, I think that you won't change or anything because I think that in your mind you already know your destiny, right? So you'll just be like, hey, I seen this before y'all even seen this. So then,
Absolutely.
yeah. So now how many albums do you feel like you want to put out? You got 17 songs. Do you go in the studio like every day, or is it just like until this album is done? You giggling. So how many songs you did?
You
165.
I think at this point we've lost track.
Oh
Um,
Lord.
now it's when we go to make music, it's more or less just to make music rather than for
Mm,
numbers or anything like that. It never was for to count the numbers of how many songs. And even with the album, it was just more or less like, we didn't have to say, okay, let's go to the studio to make an album. It was more like, let's just put these songs together and just create the album. That's it. Just select,
mm, mm-hmm,
put them in order, and that's
mm-hmm,
basically it. So
mm-hmm.
I think, you know, in the course of my career, there could be 13, 15, 16 out. Who knows? Who knows? I just want to get this one off the ground running first. That's it.
That's
I just
right.
want to,
Listen.
focus on
Yeah.
this one, and wherever this one takes me, we'll go from there.
Now, do you want to stay independent, or do you want to be signed to like a major label? I mean, because I don't know if signing to a major label has changed since like back in the days where everybody was dying to be on a label.
Well, I think it's unfortunate that the reputation of labels are descending a little bit because every artist is now like, okay, I think I'm gonna have more control, independent. I'm gonna have more creative control. But you get what you negotiate at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's it's like you can't blame the labels for your results and your downfall. Like you're in that room, you're overlooking that contract with your attorneys, what have you, if you have an attorney, if
Right.
you have a good attorney that really gives a fuck about you. So you can't really say, oh, it's the labels, they're taking stuff, and I just want to be independent. Now, granted, if you want to be independent because you want your control, by all means, but you can still have control, but you got to give something to get it. You just can't be, you got to know what you're getting into. And I think that's something that I know now is mature me and understanding the business from, like I said, from the real estate and understanding contract and things like that and negotiating. I know now how to negotiate. So I would feel comfortable now. And my team, we spoke about, partnering joint
Mm-hmm.
ventures with
Mm-hmm.
labels,
Oh wow.
not just solely signing, but partnering up
Mm-hmm.
with different brands, with different labels. This way we do have, now we know we may have to give up a percentage for certain
Mm-hmm.
things for a certain
Mm-hmm.
amount of, time, etc. But that's okay with us. We know in order to get the resources, we have to give up 20%, 10%, whatever we negotiate. But as long as we know and we know the end result, and like you were saying, having the vision, knowing where you want to be already. So, like, if anything happens, I'm cool. I agree to that. I acquiesce to that. You know what I
That's right.
mean? So
That's right.
there's a lot of things that labels can help you do, So I'm an
Mm-hmm.
advocate for that. And also the independent is whatever works for you works for you. If you can have a major hit record independent and it takes you somewhere else, then by all means. But if you do think you need the label to last long, to have more resources um, forever, then by all means as well. So I think we
Yeah.
will, and we've spoken about that many times, and I think that's something that's going to happen for sure. A
Yeah, that's
partnership.
good. Now, do you have an entertainment lawyer already? Because Tracy Lee's an entertainment lawyer. Tracy Lee, my homie, he came on here. Like it's party time. I interviewed
Yeah,
Tracy Lee, but Tracy Lee is literally an entertainment lawyer. So
yeah.
if you don't,
We have
you have one.
we have some options.
Oh, okay. Now, I mean,
Almost too many.
I don't think he would mind just talking with you and giving you some like pointers since he's been in the industry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the interview. I don't think I knew you guys by then, but he felt like he was burnt. He felt like he learned a lot.
Hmm.
Like he learned like a lot. So, his interview was a great interview as well because it's called the music business. So he was like, you
Correct.
gotta learn the business because
Hmm.
everybody want to do the music and don't know the business. And then I had Case up here and he was saying the same thing. So I think that the fact that somebody said what he said about Tracy Lee is my guy. Howard got yes, Tracy Lee is just my family. So Tracy Lee would maybe be somebody, even if you don't hire him on, I think that he would give you a lot of knowledge behind him having the law degree and was in the
Hmm.
music business. That's why I was saying it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
coming from an artist. Hang on, let me knock you off and bring you back up. You guys hit the share button because sharing is caring and sharing is free. We got HD on here, straight from Brooklyn, New York. Big up,
Yes,
big up,
indeed.
big up. And then I am your host, Sidel B. I go live each and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got about another 15 something so minutes. And I always just ask people, where do you see yourself going in another like 5 years? Where do you see yourself being if you had like to, well, not really write it out because we all don't know our lives, but if you had to say, I would want this, and that to happen, what would it be in a 5 year plan for you?
Well, music wise, I would like to have 5 albums that point next 5 years. Um, I would like to have traveled the world, performed in front of billions of people.
That's good.
Um, I would have hoped, or I foresee my music becoming an household entity.
Mm,
Um, I foresee myself being an entrepreneur, a real estate mogul, in addition to a music mogul as well. Not just a little bit
that's
of my
good. That's good.
manifestations.
I know
Yeah.
that's right. So I was watching Pastor Keon. That's
Yeah.
Shawnee married Pastor Keon, and talking about the real estate. So if you want to own real estate, I don't know if you know it, being that you already do real estate, but he was like, if you own anything, make sure it's a multi-level, because anything from the first floor going up, you don't have to pay any taxes. So he broke it down like this apartment building. Once you have this big whole apartment building with all these apartments, and it's tax free to you. Okay, so
Right.
now that had made a lot of sense why all these apartment buildings is going up like
Correct.
out of it. So if you own something, just try to own like a multi, different multi units and stuff like that. But kudos for you for having a 5 year plan. So it sounds like you're gonna try to drop an album every year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And whatever happens, happens. But that's, the idea is to travel the world and speak to billions of people, forever through the music and through, writings. And that's something I didn't mention, but also would love to, put out my first book,
Hmm.
about my life, of, different poems that I've written that I write. I would love to get those things published as well. So, there's a lot of different things that I've put forth in my vision and I've manifested, and it's happening. So I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
Well, if you need anybody
Yeah,
to help you with the book, I got one book out that's
yeah,
about to come out, a children's book. My first book came out in 2019. I got books out, so I could
beautiful.
definitely we can get down the poem out book, and I got somebody that can edit it for you. Be on Amazon before you can even go shoot and blow your nose. So the rest might have to come later. But if you want to be an
Yeah,
author, you
yeah,
got my number. Hit me up, and I definitely want to do
absolutely,
that because I definitely, definitely. If I don't know nothing else, I know about the book game. And
absolutely. I
yeah, my
appreciate
twin
that.
sister, she helps me out. Shout out to my twin sister for always having my back. She be having my
Absolutely,
back a lot. And so do you have any siblings?
I do.
You do.
Yes, I do. I have a sister, a brother, two other sisters, so it's a big family. Yeah,
Oh, okay, and they probably proud of you, right? Are you the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
What?
Yeah.
Mama,
Yeah.
mommy,
Yeah.
you like
Yeah. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest.
school?
It's an interesting dynamic, my family, so we're not gonna go into too many details, but I would say that, yeah, I think they've
Well, they
mentioned,
gotta
they've
be. You're
said
the
that they,
oldest. You're the oldest,
you
so they,
know,
so you're
um
like their role
right.
model, right?
Correct. Hopefully I am,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's good. That's good. That's good. We you don't, so you don't have any children.
No. No.
Oh, okay. I had to look. You see me look at, please say no.
you know,
Please say no.
I'm,
But,
yeah,
You know,
no, not at
yeah.
the moment. Not,
Get the, yeah,
yeah.
get the baby mama after you make it, and then choose her wisely because you done already made it. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you make it, all she sees is the queen. So
Yeah.
if you got anybody you used to love when you was in high school? It
Correct.
looks like that's how the football players make it. They just marry their
Yeah.
old high school love.
Exactly. You gotta stick with the original, the ones that are with you from day one, the ones that genuinely care about you as a person and things like that. So that's
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 right.
really important. Yeah,
That is
because
important. I
things
think
can
that's
get,
important.
very foggy in the business, as we know, as we know and we've seen, in
Mhm.
any relationship, whether it's friends, whether it's somebody you're intimate with, no matter who it is,
Mhm.
you want to keep the ones that been with you since the
Mhm.
start. That's very important.
That's
You
true.
know.
So I was reading Sister's comment because she's in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Hmm.
So maybe she could set up something. They got a little, like a lot of venues, and maybe you could come down with summer, and we could give like a old good old block party. What happened to the days of
Absolutely.
good old block parties? I used to love a good old open up the fire escape and well, let's wet us and get. We ain't even supposed to be open, but we was having so much fun back then. Maybe
You
like a
know,
good
it's
old block party.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that even well, let me not say unfortunate because you do in New York, you still have them, right? There's certain neighborhoods that are still having the block parties. So kudos to those particular neighborhoods. We don't see them as
Yeah,
frequent. Hopefully, as
yeah.
the summertime approaches, we'll see them more. But it was different. Well, as even when I was raised, it was more of a community thing happening,
Mhm.
and opposed to now where everything just seems very distant. I think that's because you have a lot of, like we're talking about the brownstones, the houses. Now it's more apartments than anything everywhere. There's more of these
Mhm.
big, commercial buildings, residential
That's true.
buildings coming up. So it's not like you're living in around the community. It's just like you're with all these different strangers. Everybody is coming from all
Right.
over the place, and
Yeah.
there's really no cohesiveness there. So I think that's what's happening. But otherwise, hopefully this summer we'll see a little bit more of that. But I'm happy to come out there to do a
Yeah.
performance, to be around the people and feel that good energy out there for sure. I'm down,
Yeah,
Rochelle.
she
I'm
would love
already in.
to.
I'm already
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. I think that me and sister, because we can maybe put together like a good old block party. She'll figure
Yeah.
out who she needs to talk to. We'll have not just you. We have good food trucks, block off the street. I mean, but I really can contest to brownstones. Like I'm from a dead end street.
Mm,
Everybody was family. It wasn't no who gonna kill who at the block party. Now if you have a block party and it's a whole big old building, the projects, then everybody come downstairs. You don't know who inside the block party,
right.
right? So
Exactly.
right, so
Exactly.
it's way different from when we were younger, growing up in New York, or at least me and definitely 55 years ago. Super, super, super fun, super safe,
Yeah.
and things like that. But I think that we should just try to put together some type of good old um community of awareness. It just be like a good old, I would call it a good old block party, and a
Absolutely.
nice summer day, and we just chillaxing and have a look at fun. So she said she would look into that and
Okay.
look into like a great area. So as we
Sounds
wind
good.
down, we got about 7 more minutes. You will get to put all your links as we leave up off of here. So all your links, you could just drop them in so people will know where you find all your streaming music from, where to find you at, how to keep up with you. You guys go and hit a follow. Make sure y'all follow him. Are you on Facebook?
Yeah. Everything HD. So underscore everything HD. It's all the same on every platform. Underscore everything HD. Basically, every
Okay, because
platform.
I don't think I'm following you on here
Okay,
on
we'll
Facebook.
make that happen. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
make it because then I'll make sure I want to share
think
you. Now,
I think
now,
Eric is on
always,
here. Eric, can you put the links in here? I don't want to mess
yeah,
nothing up on
Eric's
my
been
end.
Eric's
So
been definitely putting the links. He's
yeah,
been
put the
doing a
link
great job. Shout
on
out
the
to Eric.
chat.
So I'm in the podcast group, and he stepped out on faith and just asked me. I'm so
Hmm.
elated that you
Appreciate
came
it,
here.
TK.
It's a great interview. I just love your presence. I love everything
Thank
about
you.
you. I
Thank
just
you.
love, like, I just see you going far. I think you're super smart. You talk intelligent. You speak really really nice and clear. I didn't hear not one hood word come out of your mouth since we've been on here for almost 54 minutes. And ain't no shade to the hood talkers, but you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you can know when a person talk like how they talk
Hmm.
normally because it would just slip in. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with that. But I can see that you, like you said, you do real estate. It seems like you got your head on your shoulders. Plus, your sisters, your siblings is younger than you, so you got to pave the way for them. So kudos
Absolutely,
to
you got
you.
to absolutely you got to set the momentum. And I think as an artist, me and Eric TK, we laugh about it a lot. Where you were just mentioning about some artists, are not able to go on an interview and not be able, speak right, properly, or whatever you call it. But I think that's something that I always want to be different than everybody. I don't want to be like the same, and so I want to set the standard and set the momentum and things like that. So I don't want people to be like, oh, artists talk like that, or they do that, or act like that. Like
Right.
I don't act like that.
Stereotyping. Right.
I don't go to that party. I don't go to that restaurant. I don't go to that
Right.
new. I go
Right.
here.
Yeah.
You guys go here. I go to the opera. I go to listen to classical music.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
always
yeah, I
like
love me some
choosing the
classical
other way.
music. Yeah, yeah.
I don't go to places where somebody step on my shoes and we get into a fight. I don't do
Right,
that. I
right.
go to what I mean? Like, I don't go to a place where I gotta look over my shoulder. So it's
Well, you value
like
your life. It just
yeah.
sounds like you value your life. You value your life. Sister said he's a
Yeah.
young Jay-Z. He is so dope. You are a young Jay-Z the media, and I do think that you're so dope. So
Thank you. I
we winding
appreciate it.
down, and I always ask the question, and I'm gonna ask this as long as I interview people. What would you say to anybody that's listening? It don't have to be about the music business. What would you say to encourage anybody that was listening? Whatever comes to your mind that you feel in your heart that you would inspire somebody else with your words.
Do for others more than you do for yourself.
You're like, come on now.
You know, Eric told me one thing and it really resonated with me. And it resonated with my whole life, like he said something like the apple tree, the apple tree drops the apples, not for the apple tree. It's not for the apple tree. It's for those who need the apples, the insects, the
Amen.
animals, the bugs. That really resonated with me big time. So I think that's what I would say. And, also, you know, make the ultimate sacrifice to do whatever it is that you love to do and you feel good about doing. So those two things, that's my life right there, because I give, I do, but it's not because I'm looking for something in return, but naturally, always the universe just blesses me and God blesses me all the
Mm.
time. I don't even have to ask, like, can you give me this? Because I did this. It just
Right,
naturally
right, right.
comes. And I think if everybody had that mindset, or I think a lot of things would go around the world and a lot of good energy will maneuver around the world. It'd be different. If we all felt like that, nobody would be losing anything if everybody's constantly giving, right?
Amen. That's right. Well,
So,
I'm definitely a giver.
and not just monetary, but love and passion and compassion and joy, peace. Like that was reciprocated around. Like it would be great. So I just want to give positive frequencies.
Well,
I
I
want
think
to
you're
give the
doing a
apples.
great job, and
Yeah,
kudos to Eric, because
yeah,
well, I know that I heard a lot of sayings, but I didn't hear about the apple tree,
yeah.
and that makes a lot of sense. The apple tree didn't grow the apples just to be an apple tree. It grew the
Correct.
apples just to make sure that it supplies its needs. See, so God does everything
Correct.
for our needs, and people think
Exactly.
that they're doing it for their needs, but God does everything in decency in order
Right.
for our needs. And kudos for you. I'm all about love. I'm a person of love. I'm a person of giving. I'm a giving person. And I feel like when you give, right, we supposed to be givers, not takers. This
Mm-hmm.
is what the Bible says.
Mm-hmm.
Givers, not takers, lenders, not borrowers. We're supposed to be above and not beneath. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people think that, oh, I gave. No, God supplied it so you can give. And when you give selfishly, you don't reap a reward. But let me knock them off, y'all, because we almost done, and I'm gonna bring them right back up. So I feel like when you give, you should give with a pure heart and a sound mind, and don't look for anything in return, because that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be a giver, right? I think
Absolutely.
I think so. So
We gotta
let's
snap our fingers for that one. That was great.
I
That
went
was
to poetry
amazing.
night the other day. They was
That
like
was
this. Yes.
amazing. You gotta snap fingers. You can't
Yes.
clap. You gotta snap your fingers. That's beautiful. Well said. Well said, Sidel.
I
Well
said, but a
said.
lot of people don't think like that. So a lot of
Right.
people don't think that people live in the selfish box. They think it's all about them, and then they will never succeed. And then
Mm,
when you come off here and you follow me, I just put grow, and I put the meaning of grow there, and I said no more stinking thinking. It's a lot of stinking thinking people on here, and that's why
mm-hmm.
they don't prosper. So like you said, I can always be loving and giving and kind and don't even really know that I'm doing it. And then God
Mm,
always, the universe always just finds me and gives me favor. You sound like me. God always shows Sadell favor because Sadell is
Right.
doing everything with a pure mind and a
With a pure
sound
mind.
heart. Right,
Absolutely.
and when you do it, he be like, "Now I'm a reward." He rewards his children for the good deeds that they do, right?
Absolutely.
And what you do in private, God will reward you openly. It's a lot of things that I do that people don't even know about.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said.
Thank you,
That's a
Eric. Eric
beautiful
for
thing.
this great platform. Let's talk about it.
Let's
Yes.
talk about it.
Yeah,
Beautiful
I could
thing.
talk to you for hours, but we only go about
Yeah, I
8
know.
hours.
We can do
But I'll be talking to you about because I got
Yeah.
your number. I'll definitely talk
Yep,
to
you
you.
got my
Eric.
number. Absolutely.
This is
Yes.
outstanding host. Share her links. Yeah. So you guys definitely get his name out, get everything about him out. If you catch the replay or you on here now, please share because sharing is just caring and sharing is free. It just takes 1 second to hit the share button. Only a hater wouldn't share what somebody else got doing, whatever what somebody else got good going on in their lives. And this is the reason why I do this. I do it because I want other people to know that he can do it, they can do it too. I have interviewed a whole lot of different people on this platform, and I just want to make sure I see everybody succeed and everybody win. So I'll continue on doing this. I got a great lineup for March. You started it off. I am truly grateful and honored to
I'm
have
grateful.
had you.
Thank you.
We'll put together some things. Make sure you share links and everything, and then we are about to rock out and let's go. So I am the host at LB. This is H-D,
The one and only.
one and only, straight from Brooklyn. He is like no other. He's walking in his own lane. He's finding his own path, his own direction, and kudos for him. He's doing stuff the old school way, so we can bring back good old music like we want. Like I listen, I want to listen to it too. So hey, if I ride with it, then I know it's good.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
I thank everybody for joining. I thank you, Eric, for bringing your artist up here so I can interview him. Much love to you and much blessings to you. And then it says this is outstanding. Share her link. I appreciate that. And it says Lady Sadell, love is love. And then who
Absolutely.
is Troy?
That's Reservoir. Troy is also the co-founder on Reservoir.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
Yeah.
Troy.
That's TK right there.
Yeah, and you just been such a love, and I wish you nothing but the best success,
Likewise.
prosperity, overflowing abundance. I wish that you just sleep so peaceful at night that you just don't even know.
Right.
The alarm clock goes by. That's how peaceful you sleep because your life is just going like milk, just flowing
Right.
like
Right.
water.
Likewise.
Right?
Likewise.
Just right. Yes. And nothing but good luck and prosperity. And I see you guys 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I see you next Tuesday sharp. And don't remember that we have the battle on my Instagram page is let's talk about underscore it podcast underscore. That's my Instagram. I'll share the link as well. We have a battle going out. So each Thursday we'll hear competition. And then before I gotta go, I always gotta shout out my brand. I own a seasoning called Millie Seasoning. Millie Seasoning comes in 4 different flavors. It comes in garlic and herb, seafood seasoning. It comes in an all-purpose, and then it also comes in a Cajun, and I have a chicken fried seasoning. It's flavored done the old-fashioned way. There's no sodium in any of the bottles, so it's a healthy choice for you. You will save money by picking up one bottle instead of picking up a whole bunch of bottles. So definitely head on over to millieseasoning.com. Pick up your bottle today. We offer free we offering samples now. You can get 1 for $2.50, or you can get 4 for $6.50 or $7.50, and I'm uploading that soon. I thank everybody for joining today. I thank you, my brother. You've been a great guest.
Thanks so much.
And
make sure you get the seasons, y'all. Go get it.
Yeah. Make sure
Right
y'all
now.
pick up the season right now and pick up his album when it is it out, right? No.
It's out now, face to face.
It's out now.
Go
out
get it.
now. Go
Download
get
it. Don't just stream
Download
it.
it.
Download it.
That's right. That's right. We out of here, y'all. Peace.
Love.